Look up at the night sky, what do you see? A vast, dark tapestry sprinkled with countless stars, galaxies, and nebulae. Now consider this, an equally complex, equally wondrous universe exists right behind your eyes. Isn't that amazing? It is your brain. This 3-pound marvel of biological engineering is the most intricate object we have yet discovered in the cosmos. Wow! It holds your memories, your dreams, your fears. Your brain is the command center of your personal spaceship, your body, navigating the currents of time and space. Buckle up for the ride. At the heart of your inner universe are its stars, the neurons. Excited? You have about 86 billion of them. Wow! That's roughly the same number of stars as in our Milky Way galaxy. Each neuron is a specialized cell, a tiny biological switch. Its job is to receive, process, and transmit information. Imagine each one as a musician in a vast cosmic orchestra. What a show! They don't play loud, booming notes, but rather tiny sparks of electricity called action potentials. Zap! These signals are the language of the brain, the fundamental notes that, when played together, create the symphony of your thoughts. This chemical handshake can either excite the next neuron, encouraging it to fire its own signal, or inhibit it, telling it to remain quiet. It's a breathtakingly complex system of go and stop signals, happening billions of times every second. Mind-blowing. This intricate network is what allows for the brain's incredible processing power. Each of your 86 billion neurons can form thousands of connections with other neurons. The total number of potential pathways, or synapses, in your brain is staggering, estimated to be in the trillions. It's an interconnected web of such density and complexity that it makes the global internet look like a simple string of lights. Like a well-organized galaxy, your brain is not a uniform mass, it's a cosmic masterpiece. It has distinct structures and regions, each specialized for different functions, all working together in a harmonious whole. The largest part is the cerebrum, the wrinkled outer layer that we so often picture when we think of the brain. This is the seat of your higher cognitive functions, your thoughts, your language, your voluntary actions, and personality. The cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres, the left and the right, which communicate with each other through a massive bundle of nerve fibers called the corpus callosum. It's a superhighway of information, ensuring both sides of your brain are in constant dialogue. Vroom vroom. Beneath the cerebrum, nestled near the back, is the cerebellum, master of coordination, precision, and timing. When you ride a bike, play a piano, or even just walk without stumbling, you have your cerebellum to thank. Cheers to balance. Deeper still, at the core, is the brainstem, the most ancient part, controlling breathing, heartbeat, and blood pressure. The cerebrum itself is further divided into 4 major lobes, each with its own set of responsibilities. The frontal lobe is your executive control center, planning, problem-solving, decision-making, personality. The parietal lobe processes touch, temperature, pain, and spatial mapping. At the back, occipital handles vision. The temporal lobes support hearing, language, and forming new memories. Your brain is not carved from stone. It is sculpted by experience. How cool is that? This remarkable ability to change and adapt is called neuroplasticity. Every time you learn something new, ding, your brain gets a little upgrade. A language, a scientific concept, a musical instrument, you are physically rewiring your brain. The connections or synapses between neurons involved in that task become stronger and more efficient. New pathways are forged. Think of it like creating a new trail in a dense forest. Adventure time. The first time is difficult, but the more you travel that path, the clearer and easier it becomes. Memories are not stored in a single location like files on a hard drive. Instead, they exist as distributed patterns of neural connections across different brain regions. A memory of a beach vacation might involve the occipital lobe, visual recall of the sunset, the temporal lobe, sound of the waves, and the limbic system, feeling of happiness. When you recall that memory, your brain reactivates this specific network of neurons, replaying the experience. This process isn't perfect. Memories can fade, warp, and be influenced by new information. The brain is constantly pruning connections and strengthening others, optimizing for what is important to your survival and well-being. This is why focused attention and repetition are so crucial for learning. They signal to your brain that this particular information is worth preserving. The potential for this system is, for all practical purposes, limitless. There is no known cap on the human brain's capacity to learn. Amazing! So where do new ideas come from? That bolt of lightning? Eureka? That spark of insight that solves a problem or creates a work of art? This is the mystery of creativity. Its origins lie deep within the brain's complex networks. Creativity isn't magical, it's a cognitive process. Your brain recombines existing information in new useful ways. It's about connecting the seemingly unconnected. One key network, the default mode network, the DMN. The DMN is active when your mind is wandering or daydreaming. It's your brain's internal sandbox. But you also need the executive control network, ECN. The ECN handles focus, evaluation, and deliberate planning. It tests raw ideas from the DMN. The magic is the dance between DMN and ECN, a collaboration between your inner dreamer and your inner editor. This isn't just for geniuses. Every human brain is wired for this creative dance. Yes, even yours. Be open to new connections and have the focus to see them through. Your brain is a natural idea generation machine. History is filled with spectacular examples of the human brain's power to reshape our understanding of the universe. Wow! Consider the mind of Isaac Newton. In the 17th century, he sat under an apple tree, or so the story goes, a falling apple, the orbit of the moon. His brain forged a new monumental pathway, leading to the universal law of gravitation. Think of Marie Curie, a pioneer in radioactivity. In a time when science was dominated by men, her brain possessed fierce curiosity and unwavering dedication. She analyzed complex data, identified patterns, and isolated two new elements, polonium and radium. She earned 2 Nobel Prizes and laid the foundation for medical treatments that saved countless lives. Then there is the brain of Albert Einstein. As a young patent clerk, his mind wandered through thought experiments. He imagined riding on a beam of light. That playful thought, combined with deep knowledge of math and physics, led to the special theory of relativity. These individuals were not born with fundamentally different brains than our own. They had the same hardware and the same capacity for learning and creativity. What set them apart was how they used their brains. Super inspiring. They cultivated curiosity, embraced relentless questioning, and dedicated themselves to deep, focused thought, forging new pathways for themselves and for humanity. For centuries we have told stories about the differences between men and women, often extending these tales to the very structure of our brains, myth-busting time. We've heard the clichés. Men are from Mars, their brains wired for logic. Women are from Venus, their brains designed for empathy and communication. But what does the science actually say? When neuroscientists look inside the skull, do they find 2 distinct types of brains, one male and one female? The answer, in short, is a resounding no. It is true that, on average, there are some small structural differences. Males tend to have slightly larger total volume. Certain regions like the amygdala or hippocampus show small average variations. Hormones also influence development. These are statistical averages, however, and the overlap between individuals is enormous. Knowing the size of someone's amygdala tells you absolutely nothing about whether they are male or female. Groundbreaking research shows most brains are a mosaic of features. Some more common in males, some more common in females, and many common to both. One person might have a characteristically male amygdala, but a female hippocampus. There is no single brain feature that allows reliable separation. So, where do stereotypes about spatial or verbal skills come from? They are overwhelmingly the product of culture, not biology. Lifelong training sculpts brains via neuroplasticity. If you give a child building blocks and games that exercise spatial reasoning, those networks strengthen. Cultural encouragement shapes skills. We are far more similar than different. The idea of a male brain or a female brain is a myth, busted. If the brain is not male or female, then what determines our cognitive abilities? What makes one person a math whiz and another a talented artist? Let's find out. They emerge from a complex interplay of genetics, environment, education, and most importantly, practice. Intelligence itself is not a single, monolithic thing. There are many kinds of intelligence: logical, mathematical, linguistic, spatial, musical, bodily, kinesthetic, interpersonal. An individual might excel in some areas and be average in others. A brilliant physicist might struggle with social cues, while a gifted diplomat might find algebra challenging. Neither one is more intelligent than the other. Their brains have simply been trained to different strengths. Differences we sometimes see between large groups are almost always small and heavily influenced by social factors. The gap in math scores has shrunk dramatically as educational opportunities improved. In countries with greater gender equality, these cognitive gaps often disappear entirely. Powerful evidence they are not hardwired. The most capable brain is the one that is encouraged, challenged, and nurtured. It's the brain that is taught effort matters more than innate talent. Believing in a math brain or an art brain is a self-fulfilling prophecy. When we tell people they are not wired for something, we discourage them from trying. The truth is, any brain can learn anything, given the right training and motivation, yes, even yours. We have journeyed through the universe within, from the cosmic dance of neurons to the grand structures that map our thoughts. What a ride. We have seen the brain's incredible power to learn, to create, and to reshape our world. We have busted the myth of the male and female brain, revealing instead a beautiful mosaic of human potential, sculpted not by destiny but by experience. Don't let anyone, including yourself, put limits on what your brain can do. Practice math. Expose your mind to new ideas, give it time to wander, start speaking a new language, read books you know nothing about. Talk to people who see the world differently. Every effort you make physically changes your brain for the better. The greatest exploration of the 21st century is happening within the field of neuroscience, and the greatest adventure you can undertake is the exploration of your own mind. Challenge your assumptions, learn intimidating skills, read widely, talk to different people. Each new experience is a new star in your inner cosmos. You're the custodian of the most complex and wonderful object in the known universe. Go explore, adventure awaits.